Brought to you by ExpressCare Health and Skin Center. Get in, get out, get better.
Everybody, welcome back. We are talking about the sense of taste, and particularly the taste buds, with my good friend Dr. Jitka Lom from ExpressCare. Now, Dr. Lom, it's interesting what you were saying. Let's kind of pedal back to what you were talking about. Do the taste buds influence salivary glands? Because obviously we can look at something like a steak or mac and cheese or pizza or something like that we've had previously probably, or that looks very, very tempting and everything like that, and we will literally sorry. Now, is that more a function of memory, because I know I've had that before and it's very very delicious, or do my taste buds actually trigger saliva?
Well, it's a combination actually. What happens is you'll get the this smell, the olfactory sensation first. That will trigger off your brain's memories and memories of what the taste buds experienced in the past, and then trigger off saliva. So, as you know, there's the Pavlov response, right, where they train dogs to, whenever the bell rang, they fed the dogs, and the dogs learned to salivate when the bell just rang without being fed. So people do that too.
So it's a combination of memory and instinct?
Memory and the scent that comes your way. Now, when you're sick, you don't smell as well, so you don't feel like eating as much, which is a good thing because your body's protecting you from wasting energy on digestion when it wants to use the energy for healing. So when you have that saying, starve of fever, feed a cold, right?
Thank you so much for saying that, because we'll just go ahead and put that on the side. That was the next topic. Yeah. So to debunk the myth, it is starve a fever, stuff a cold.
Stuff or feed, yeah.
Okay.
Because the fever, when your body's very hot, you're already generating a lot of internal heat. You don't need to start doing more metabolism on the inside as far as digestion, because that generates more heat. So your body wants you to, please don't eat. We're going to just hydrate, drink lots and lots of water, conserve energy for the immune system to heal whatever that is going on. Whereas with a cold, you don't have a fever with a cold typically. You're just cold. So when you put something warm inside, you generate some internal heat through the digestive process, you feel better. I
have gotten the munchies when I've had like little minor colds. I was like, I could really go for like a Hungry Man dinner right now, or something like a big
hot
steak.
Soup.
Yeah, well, hot soup for you, an entire platter of lasagna for me, and I've done that. Okay. What happens when you actually burn your tongue? Do you literally singe your taste buds, and how do they recover?
Right. So you do actually burn the papillae. You can do that through chemicals as well if you happen to be, licking some sort of chemical. But your papillae can regenerate about every 4 or 5 days. So you'll find if you get a really bad burn on your tongue, usually by 2 or 3 days later, your taste buds have come back. And the other thing that can affect taste is aging, because as we get older, our taste buds don't turn over as quickly. So when they get injured through the regular eating and chewing and so on, when they get abraded, they don't come back as fast. So your taste is impaired. So the old people tend not to want to eat as well. They're pickier. And the other thing is medicine and sickness can also affect your taste. The classic one is chemotherapy. Those drugs will affect your taste buds. But there are other medicines like blood pressure medicines or seizure medicines that can affect the sensation of taste. And of course, sinus infections, they're a classic too for affecting your taste.
I've also known some people that are being treated for diabetes, and of course that is very, very rampant on Guam. And they say, at least when they're going through the initial symptoms, one of the things that they notice is when their blood sugar has fluctuating levels, they say a lot of what they eat tastes a lot sweeter without doing anything. They just have this feeling like their mouth, like whatever, they can be eating canned corn or corn on the cob, and it just they're like, for some reason it tastes like really sweet. I feel like I'm eating candy.
Yep. And in fact, those patients that have really very high blood sugars smell sweet when you come close to them, like almost like maple syrup, or they have an odor. Yeah.
That's interesting. So it literally is a sugar.
It is.
That gives off.
Yeah.
Okay. Can your taste buds become like inflamed or anything like that, or can you have like hypersensitive taste buds? Maybe people with like thyroid issues.
Not so much the thyroid, but you can have hypersensitive taste buds if your tongue has been again injured through some sort of chemotherapy or some kind of chemical. Otherwise, your taste buds sort of are really good at regenerating because they're constantly being used.
Are there a variety of things, hopefully, that I can do if I wanted to become more of a foodie? If I wanted to have, how people very often say kind of like the sweet tooth thing. I mean, that's a clever, device. But if I wanted to say, like, I want to have a very distinct palate and everything, can I actually exercise my taste buds, or basically I've got what God gave me.
You've got what God gave you, just like you've got your hair and your eyes and your other bodily appearance. It's the same with your taste buds. You basically are the way you are. That's why those people that have they're super tasters, they're excellent at sort of wine tasting. They go into those fields, or they become foodies, like you said, because they have just a really much more powerful experience of taste than the rest of us. Those of us who have sort of a less developed sense of taste really don't care too much what we eat. We're not that picky.
Yeah.
It's easier to feed us, though.
Yeah, so
especially children.
So if you want to have a real distinct palate and everything, maybe just try a lot of foods, maybe watch a lot of Food Network and everything, read a bunch of books.
Well, I don't think you can really do too much about it. Just try to enjoy your food and don't overeat.
Okay, what should we know as far as taking care of our taste buds? Because we've learned, don't burn your tongue. Obviously, that's very painful and everything like that is. And the function of the taste buds, as you've now said, like may slow down as we age and everything like that. Is there anything we can do to help our taste buds?
I don't, not so much help, but you can brush your tongue. A lot of people don't know that it's helpful to brush your tongue. When you brush your teeth, just take the bristles over the tongue a little bit, and what that does is it stimulates blood flow, it takes off the dead cells, and it helps expose your taste receptors to flavors. Remove the tongue coating. Tongue coatings are a very interesting topic too. In Chinese medicine, they study the coating on the tongue, and it changes with your state of health. So some people, when they're very ill, they'll have like a white, thick coating on their tongue. Other people, if they have a very high fever, they may have a completely burnt-looking tongue, a scalded tongue without many ridges and so on. So it's interesting. It changes.
Very interesting. All right, we thank you as always.
You're welcome.
For the information. Want to go get something to eat?
I don't mind at all.
Yeah, let's go do that. All right, stay tuned, everybody. We may be back. We may not. The show will return. We may be, maybe we'll show cartoons or something like that. But we're going to go actually test our taste buds.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back after this.
Bye.